Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the CHOFETZ CHAIM and the laws of Shmiras HaLashon to guard our mouths from speaking Lashon Hara. Baruch Hashem, the day after Yom Kippur, everybody's mouth has been cleansed. We've said Al-Chet, and we apologize to Hashem so many times yesterday. Many of the Al-Chets, much of the vidui, the confessional that we make, the CHOFETZ CHAIM himself points out, revolves around the power of our speech. And therefore we said sorry so many times, apologizing to Hashem for misusing our mouths, saying the wrong things, getting involved in Lashon Hara, non-consequential conversations, late sanos, scoffing, silly things that come out of our mouth, nivel peh, the wrong language that we use, so on and so forth. So now that our mouths have gone through the cleansing process, we want to try to keep them in that place. And therefore, what better thing can we do today than to continue learning the laws of Lashon Hara? And the CHOFETZ CHAIM was bringing down from the Vilna Gaon the last time how a person should know that when you leave this world and you have to answer to Hashem what we did in our lifetimes, we're going to have to give an accounting to HaKadosh Baruch Hu of all the times that we were speaking Lashon Hara, why we were speaking Lashon Hara and we weren't learning Torah at that time. Since that Torah itself, every word is a mitzvah bifnei atzma in and of itself, that means that we lost out on hundreds of thousands, maybe millions and billions of mitzvahs all the time that we were speaking Lashon Hara. So we'll have to be able to justify ourselves, and that is an impossible thing that we can do. Ve'alachas kama v'kama, all the more so. Shebe'es hazeh shu parish atzma min haTorah, at the time that you're busy speaking Lashon Hara, and you're not learning Torah or doing other beneficial things, when you are speaking gossip, Lashon Hara, evil speech, or similarly, every single story of genus, of degrading information that you say about your friend, you're transgressing another prohibition in and of itself of Lashon Hara. Like we say in the tractate Makos, al tilbash. If someone tells you, don't put on shatnez, so you put on shatnez, they say, don't put on shatnez, a mixture of wool and linen, and you put it on again every time that you transgress their commandment or their warning, you end up getting an aveira, you get a sin. And the same thing, like Rabbi Yonah writes, means the same thing over here, that every single time that you speak Lashon Hara, you're transgressing another prohibition of Lashon Hara. Which means instead of getting the thousands of mitzvahs of learning Torah that you could have gotten, you're getting thousands of demerits of Lashon Hara. If all we would think about is like this: every time that I'm speaking Lashon Hara, I'm being mevatel, I'm nullifying the opportunities that I have to learn Torah. So therefore I'm losing out on the mitzvah of Torah, and I'm getting the punishments of Lashon Hara. So you realize that there's so many negative commandments that you're transgressing, and so many positive commandments that you are transgressing and losing out on as well. And if you come to think about all the other things that we've spoken about, the negative and positive commandments that you've trampled on, that we've listed up until this point, well, the Chen Tzarech Nizar means Sipore Avolim Ke'elu. Therefore, be very careful, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, not to get involved in these wasted and empty conversations that we have, but they're not so empty because they're filled with Lashon Hara. Says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, be a smart person. Realize that every word that comes out of your mouth can either be beneficial or detrimental. You could use your words for Torah, that's thousands, billions of mitzvahs. You could use your words for Lashon Hara, that's billions of averas that a person's getting. What would you like to be in this up and coming year? 5784. How would you like your mouth to be known in Shemaim? How would you like people to speak about he's the one who uses his mouth for the right thing? Or she's the one that sits around and she's a gossip monger and she can't stop talking. How would you like to be known? Says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, be known as a person who's using their mouth, who's using their words, who's using the modicum of speech for the right things, because then you're elevated and you're not denigrated. And Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, as the mouths are clean right now and our spirits are riding high, let's take advantage. Let's continue to learn these halachas together, and let's grow in the laws of Lashon Hara so that we protect our mouths from speaking the wrong things. We end up speaking the right things, and in that schus, billions and trillions of mitzvahs will be coming our way this year. Be'ez Hashem. Have a wonderful day.